Today we're going to begin with really learning how to layer the colored pencils and how to use the different colors to achieve different effects. I'm going to show you each one of these different styles in a different video, and I want you to try along either in your sketchbook or if you would like to try this on your gray paper. I think the pencils show up better. So anyways, there's a page in your sketchbook that has 3 apples drawn on it, kind of like this. Okay, I redrew them on gray paper because I prefer it. And I started off with local color. For us, local color is going to mean the apple is going to be like it is in real life. I'm not going for some crazy colors or anything like that, just trying to draw an apple. So I drew my apple, and the first thing I did before I started the video was I took my red pencil and I gave it a light coat of red all the way across. Now, I know apples aren't always just red, so I've started laying in some other colors. The beauty with Prismacolor pencils is that you can achieve a really thick, glossy, and shiny finish, kind of like the pencil drawings that Cody showed us earlier in the semester. This is really nice. It's because of their soft, waxy texture that allows them to do this, and they almost start to act like paints. So, what I did next was I began to add light layers of yellow over top of my red. And this is because I'm picturing kind of like a Macintosh apple or even a Fuji apple that isn't just a solid red. I'm even going to overlap my white. If you color too hard with too much pressure from the start, you'll have a hard time layering your colors. Another thing I like to do is when I'm coloring something like an apple that I know is rounded, I tend to make my color pencil strokes go in the direction that makes sense for the apple. For example, I'm not going to go straight lines across. If anything, I would curve them a little bit. That's because when your pencil lines do show up, you want them to reflect that shape. I'm going to go in and add a little bit of green to the edges of my yellow. Again, just kind of light layers. It'll build up on its own. You don't have to force it. Again, if you color too hard or press too hard, you won't be able to continue to layer the colors. Next, I'm going to come back in. With my red. I'm going to do one more kind of light layer, overlapping into my green just a little, so that I can really get these colors to kind of start blending. Now, there's a particular challenge blending green and red. Do you know what it is? You're right, they're complementary colors. But we can do it with colored pencils. It's not going to make quite the mess that it would if you were doing this with paint. If the green disappeared too much or it's not blending well right there, I can come back over the red with my green. And if you have patience with this, you can build and build and build these layers. For the shadows in my apple, I'm going to use a little bit of a darker red color, almost purple. One thing I'd like to see you try to avoid if you can is using black always as a shadow. It's good for a really dark shadow, like cast light on the ground or on a table. But generally, I prefer to use colors when I'm shading an object like this. Even though that part's going to be darker, I don't want it to be too dark because I still want to be able to add my red over top. And now you're going to have an apple that looks a lot more dimensional fuller, more interesting than if you had only used the red colored pencil. I'll probably still play with that a little bit, but you get the idea. Bye, guys.